the role of agroforestry in increasing tree cover. Now I would like to invite Dr. Tejaswini ME, EMPRI Fellow, Climate Change, for the invocation and welcome address.
Thank you, Deepa. Good morning, everyone. Let us now invoke the blessings of the Almighty by this through this poem by Rashtrakavi Kovind. ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆಲ್ಲವನು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿಡುವೆ ಓ ಗುರುವೇ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮ ಮುಚ್ಚುಮರೆಯಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆಲ್ಲವನು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿಡುವೆ ಓ ಗುರುವೇ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮ ಪಾಪವಿದೆ ಪುಣ್ಯವಿದೆ ನರಕವಿದೆ ನಾಕವಿದೆ ಪಾಪವಿದೆ ಪುಣ್ಯವಿದೆ ನರಕವಿದೆ ನಾಕವಿದೆ ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸು ಗುರುವೇ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮ ಮುಚ್ಚುಮರೆಯಿಲ್ಲದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆಲ್ಲವನು ಬಿಚ್ಚಿಡುವೆ ಓ ಗುರುವೇ ಅಂತರಾತ್ಮ. Thank you. I now welcome you all to the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change sponsored 3-day training workshop for Indian Forest Service officers on role of agroforestry in increasing tree cover. The training is organized by Environmental Management and Policy Research Institute. Established in 1996, EMPRI is an autonomous institution under the Department of Forest Ecology and Environment, Government of Karnataka, India. We undertake research and capacity building training programs on contemporary environmental issues to encourage and enable effective management of natural resources. Government of Karnataka has designated EMPRI as Karnataka State Nodal Agency for Climate Change, and we are recognized and founded by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India as Karnataka Strategic Center, Knowledge Center for Climate Change since 2016. Also, we are very proud to be organizing the 6th IFS Training. For this very exciting workshop, I welcome Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, IFS Principal Chief Conservator of Forest and Director General, EMPRI. Welcome, sir. I welcome Shri Ajay Mishra, sir, IFS retired, former Principal Chief Conservator of Forest for Wildlife, Karnataka. Welcome. I welcome Dr. Ankur Avadia, IFS, Madhya Pradesh Forest Department, who is here to join us as resource person. I welcome the participants, S. Narayanan sir, A.P. Sunil Babu sir, S. Vinod sir, Amit Kaler sir, K. Murugesan sir, Basuraj S. Palayachi sir, Vipin Kumar A. Patil sir. I welcome Shri T. Balachandra, retired IFS, currently project coordinator at EMPRI. Welcome, sir. Last but not least, I welcome the organizing staff from EMPRI, and let us begin this event for a successful training program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tejaswini. Now, I request all the participants to provide a brief introduction about themselves to the gathering one by one.
Myself, Amit Kale, and I belong to 2020 batch medical planning.
Also, I'm Vipin Patel, Uttar Pradesh Cadet, 2020 batch. Presently, I'm the EMPRI.
Good morning, everyone. I am S. Narayanan, 1997 batch of Haryana Cadet, presently Additional Principal Chief Conservator of our state. Thank you.
Good morning all, I am Dr. Murugesan, 94 batch police cadet officer, present working as member secretary in state police of Indore, as well as special secretary environmental officer. Thank you.
Good morning everybody, I am Dr. Basavaraj. I am West Bengal Son and West Bengal cadre. So presently I am posted as Conservator Forest and Director, Permission and Himalayan Geological Park, Darjeeling.
I am Sunil Babu from Kerala State. Basically, I am from State Service and then it was in 2012. Presently, I am working as the Conservator for Social Forestry.
Good morning, sir. I am Vinod from Kerala Forest Department. Joined in the department during 2000. Got into IFS during 2019. Presently working as Railway Forest Site Director.
Thank you everyone. I would like to give a brief introduction about Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, IFS, PCCF and Director General, EMPRI. Dr. Jagmohan Sharma holds a doctorate in climate change and forest from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He works extensively in the areas of vulnerability and risk assessment under climate change, carbon stocks and floods, forestry, wildlife, ecology and water yields from forests. He has produced manual on vulnerability and risk assessment, framework, methods and guidelines. He has also published 7 papers in international and 22 papers in national journals. I request Dr. Jagmohan Sharma to give the opening remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Deepa. Good morning, everyone. Chief guest for the occasion, Shri Ajay Mishra. Colleagues, we at EMPRI are very happy to host you, and we understand the crossroads at which forestry is today. And while giving proposal to the ministry as to on what subject we would like to conduct a workshop or a week-long course, we found that growing of trees has become central to all the environmental crises today. And forestry departments, they have a policy of geographical area 33% under forest and tree cover, for which the departments are making their best efforts. And indeed in the country, the forest cover and the tree cover both are on the rise, which is a matter of pride for us all as a community, that we thought agroforestry, which has become a mainstay of agriculture department along with the agricultural activities, because they find agroforestry can really provide resilience to raw agriculture crops as well as the farmers. So they have come out with a policy, as you know, in 2014, and forestry departments are trying to work with the target of that policy and clubbing our own targets of coverage of 33% of geographical area of the tree cover. We as foresters understand and appreciate the role of trees and forests and what kind of centrality it has in the environmental degradation and restoration discourse. And that is what brings us today to this workshop, which is an opportunity for us to look at trees, the way we can incentivize and make it possible that more and more trees are planted. We may be working in different sectors outside the department, because in government, in general, the senior positions are vacant and officers have multiple charges. In this group also we have officers who have more than 2 charges in fact, and that is the status in all the states. So when we get this opportunity to talk among ourselves, discuss on subject which we may have interacted some years ago and did not have the opportunity meanwhile to come to the state of art knowledge in that subject area. And obviously the government of India expects us that from these programs we try to develop the alternatives and the suggestions and recommendations we would also do that. And in that, to enable that process, there would be some talks which would be delivered by the best of the people that were available to us, and a field visit, and putting your own experience in perspective, we would come up with the recommendations of the workshop. We may not be able to identify landmark things or very transformative ideas and suggestions, but it certainly helps us to think about an important element of forestry sector, which agroforestry is growing in importance as. And obviously it has linkage to everything, including the country's target of bringing about 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon storage additionally till 2030. I trust, so the design of the program has been shared with you. We have one day today of talks, and then second day we will go to for field visit, and we'll ensure that the elements of learning experience, remaining together, being able to enjoy the salubrious climate as well as the terrain and topography of the state that we are endowed with. We are going to spot for Nandi Hills and you will get a good view around. And I think though we did not have much range by now, but there are a number of water bodies surrounding that area, and if all of them are full, it makes such a lovely sight. I hope we get that when we are at Nandi Hills, we see the play of clouds and we'll be relaxing and being able to think. On the third day, when we come back here, we have opportunity to make presentations in case in group we have anything to present, primarily on agroforestry, but even if not agroforestry, something else one would like to talk about, there is an opportunity, and depending on as to how many officers ought to make the presentations, that the time available would be decided by in fact you yourselves. You may be finding it surprising that there are 2 sessions on mission life. But please note that Government of India's emphasis on mission life, which is lifestyle for environment, the ministry's instructions say that there must be 2 hours dedicated to it. We have put that on the agenda. We would see how much of that you would want to have. But there certainly would be a presentation on mission life, which will make us aware as to these small life world, how the vision of the country is to connect it to grassroots and to the global level. That is what that presentation is going to show to us. And obviously we'll try to develop the recommendations which have to be submitted to the ministry. And let me also, I trust you are comfortable as I am being given the feedback, and if there is anything you find a number of youngsters here and of good experience of organizing also, and Shri Balachandra is here who's leading all that effort, will see that your stay is best and comfortable. But let me also make a mention to you that from the earlier schedule we have to make small changes and adjustments because of certain things that happened meanwhile. And I was not talking to you earlier on a particular subject, but now I am also talking to you, and I will talk to you about the relationship that forest or the tree cover has with water. And I will be talking about the much celebrated, accepted statement that forests cause rain. Do forests cause rain is what we will scrutinize when we interact in the second session today. So I welcome you once again to Bangalore. We are at a central place. Today in the evening we have course dinner. Tomorrow after you have come back from field, which we expect that by about 5 o'clock we will be here, you will have time to go out to city in case you choose to do so. And then on the final day, a sacrosanct element is about career advancement, the discussion that happens. We have invited senior forest officers and someone who is outside the department now, working with ITC to reflect on that subject. So overall, we are very enthused to see you. The numbers that are here, we find are actually a great opportunity because better cohesion is possible. When I was trying to reflect on the numbers that are coming today for the workshop, I found that the resource person versus the participant ratio is about 1.2 resource persons every participant. So that's very rich and we are happy about it. So there's a possibility of direct and more interaction. Please feel free because you all are very senior officers and we can be very open, maintaining the mutual respect and enjoy the course and try to gain as much of learnings as possible through our discussions because you are sitting in very responsible positions within and outside the department. So welcome once again and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Jagmohan Sharma, for your insightful opening remarks on potential of agroforestry, enhancing food grain production, policy issues, and transformative ideas of agroforestry. Now, to mark the auspicious occasion of inauguration, I request our distinguished guests to water the plant.
Please, you all are welcome. Please come. We have been doing watering since beginning. Let us do it again. This is sand in your Now sand is seen everywhere almost in the country, including Kerala.
Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to give a brief introduction about Shri Ajay Mishra sir. He's IFS retired former PCC of Wildlife Karnataka. He joined the Indian Forest Service in 1986. He has worked for 35 years in the forest, wildlife protection and management in Karnataka. Out of this, he served for more than 15 years in the human-wildlife conflict issues. He has been the chairperson and member of several committees addressing elephant task force, human-elephant conflict mitigation in the state, policy initiatives for cropping pattern around the forest areas of elephant range in the state. He has been the lead author for several projects addressing man-animal conflict, wood availability, and river rejuvenation projects. Now, I invite Shri Ajay Mishra sir for the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Sharma, PCCF and Director General, EMPRI, all senior officers and dear participants, my former colleague, Balchandra, and all the officials and support staff from the EMPRI. I am very happy to be with all of you. What DG has said, this was some change of program. So I came at 10:30. I was to join you for one of the lecture as a resource person. So thank you very much. At the outset, let me also seek your apology for coming 10 minutes late. There was some traffic and it was beyond expectation that it has happened. It has made me wait for some time. So role of agroforestry in increasing the tree cover. Now all of you know, most of you are very senior and you have come from a different part of country. It's a very, very important topic. See, this is the role of agroforestry. Agroforestry means it is the trees only, what we are talking about, and how we can increase the tree cover. National National Forest Policy says it should be 33%. And 2014, when we have our this National Agroforestry Policy, at that time they have stressed many of these things. Before that, we had some national missions. National Bamboo Mission came, National Farmers Policy came. Then we have other national missions also, the Green Mission. And then one of the mission was the National Mission of Sustainable Agriculture. So as all of you know, in this National Agroforestry Policy, which is a very, very important document, and perhaps ours was the first country in the world which has a national policy on agroforestry. And it was released also in one of the World Agroforestry Conference in New Delhi at that time. So it has increased. This is at that time that we should also have a national mission on agriculture, agroforestry. But the national mission of agroforestry did not come. They have made it a sub-mission, as all of you know, and it became sub-mission on agroforestry as a part of the national mission of the National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture. So it remained as a part of that, and a lot of issues they wanted to address through that submission on agroforestry, which was taken up. And a lot of things have happened also, especially the regulatory regime. It has, Government of India has made it compulsory that the state should relax it, and to a great extent it was relaxed at the central level also, at the states level also, but a lot of things still have to come. Then they said that in the National Agroforestry Policy also, that agroforestry will be a part of the integrated farming system. So we have other farming also. So integrated farming system, it will be a part of that. It will be part of, along with the silviculture, horticulture, agriculture, animal husbandry, so that a farmer can get the best income. And this was one of the important area for the farm, for the government to increase the income of farmers. As all of you know, Government of India wanted to increase the farmers' income by 2022, in fact, actually. Still, a lot of things have to happen, but agroforestry was a very important component in that for increasing the farmers' income, doubling the farmers' income. So these are very important things, and as you know, that agroforestry, importance of agroforestry in a country like ours is known from ages. But basically it was, we knew that, we also said in our earlier policies on forestry policies also, that it is the foster and mother of agriculture. We understood that this very important role it has, but this global recognition as a very important driver for so many things has come recently in the last 1 decade or so, especially for the ecosystem services, for climate crisis. We have said about that we have a lot of commitments, potential commitments, which with the land resources available with us, we can't do much in the forest area. We have to expand outside. So 33% means still we have a long way to go. We have some 24.62% as of today in the country. Still 33%. So a lot of things have to happen. And one of the very important thing about agroforestry is that as you know that this land cover, land use and land cover is a very, very big issue. And it remains invisible many times for many of us. We think that things are happening and perhaps it is okay. But as you know that we cannot have all the land use in all the places. In the evolution process, things have grown the way it was the best of the land use. But since human population started increasing, or lifestyle changes have come, so we have completely changed the land uses and land cover. So this entire ecosystem is modified. It is no longer the way we have evolved. Today it is completely modified ecosystem we have. So in the modified ecosystem, the knowledge what today we have, we must ensure that we should have a land use and land cover which is compatible, not with compatible to our lifestyle, but it should be ecologically compatible actually. So agroforestry is one of the very, very important things. As you know that marginal and sub-marginal lands are most vulnerable for everything actually. For degradation also, for farmers also they have a lot of problem. So agroforestry can play a very important role for those things. So the things, the importance of agroforestry as your 3 days workshop in progress you will find, and as all of you know also, is much more than as it was understood in the past. But when we, at least at the general public level, this thing has not, like what we talk about the soils. This EMPRI keeps on producing a lot of documents. One of the documents was the state of environment report they have got earlier also. And what they said actually in the 2015 report, that this soil water capacity what we have, more than 44% of the soils and it is less than optimal. Well, no. The reason is because our soil organic carbon content is far, far less. It should never have been less than 0.5, it is 0.3 also. Optimally, it should be around 1. So all those things have come, but people are not very much aware of many of these things. Then other ecosystem services include water. Water, only forest. We have a big tree cover, and that tree cover is basically contributed by the trees outside forest. So how they play the role for the water cycle, very important. And then as you know that we have actual evapotranspiration transpiration and the potential evapotranspiration from the basic areas. Very, very important things. Here also it plays a very important role actually. More than 2/3 of the water goes back, and how it interacts. Very important thing. Biodiversity also. So with so much of importance of agroforestry, I think we need to stress more and more, not only about the awareness, actual implementation of the various government programs which are there. But many issues are there. This workshop has been organized, and I think EMPRI, with all its expertise in the natural resource management, is one of the best institutions in the country which can take up this type of issues. So you will find in different states also you will be having many issues on this. What I found, there are some of the very issues which are very visible actually. Agroforestry, basically, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare are the main person who implement this policy as such. And a lot of programs are there for that. But it is like when we talk about the multidisciplinary subject, it is also one of the subject which is dealt by directly or indirectly or concerned with many authorities and ministries. Like forest, we have 33% we want to increase. India State of Forestry report keeps on estimating the forest and tree cover. So forest department, for 33% of the forest and tree cover we have important role. Agriculture department has, in the states we have horticulture department, silviculture department, animal husbandry, different departments. Then very, very important thing is, or anything to expand is, that its marketability should be very good. And you will be surprised to understand the support which you we get for the produce from the agriculture, floriculture, horticulture, animal husbandry, the same thing is not available for the agroforestry. It is still evolving. It is